Hey everyone, this is SistahCrystal here with Other Side of 40. And today I want to talk to you guys about a new law that's been passed in Europe entitled Article 13 or called Article 13. It's pretty much a law that makes social media platforms such as this one, YouTube, and Facebook and other type of social media platforms, it makes them put things in place that will automatically block copywritten content or content that's considered to be owned by another company or another entity. So, in other words, it requires that social media platforms have some type of blocking software that the moment that you upload something that's considered to be copywritten content, that content will not be shown at all. Now, this has been passed in Europe, but the reason why us or people here in the United States and all around the world should be watching this Article 13, because what Article 13 essentially does is it sort of restricts your freedom of speech, so to speak. So for instance, it even affects like schools. Like a lot of times if you're teaching on something and you have a book or someone's copywritten works and you want to quote something from, let's say, a chapter of a book, that could be considered copyright from my understanding. And I just want to give this disclaimer. I am not an attorney. And I'm not trying to play one on here. I'm just going by my layperson's understanding of this Article 13 and how it will affect the rest of the world, and how this has already started. In my understanding, this Article 13 it just was passed this past March 2019 or February 2019. However, it will be implemented fully in the next 2 or 3 years. And so what that means is anyone that's in Europe or in the European countries, the only things that they can upload are things that they own everything to. So even like celebrity news, and a lot of people do that. I do it also on other channels. Even with that, if you don't prove that you own the picture, you own the audio, you own the video, if you don't own every piece of that content, they will block it from being shown anywhere. And the reason why we should be concerned over here in America, in the United States, is because a lot of us content creators, we depend a lot on fair use. The issue is fair use is just a defense. It's a defense to being accused of copyright. So really, fair use, while it does help, and we have that here in the United States, it's really not a, how can I say it, end all be all. If you have to use fair use, like I use fair use frequently, it's only a defense of a copyright infringement claim. And here on platforms like YouTube is not a court, like I said in a previous video. So all YouTube wants to do is not be sued. So with this Article 13 passing, Article 13 for creators, especially creators like myself that like to do content that I feature old school, well, quote unquote old school, but I like to say classic hip hop artists and R&B artists. Well, I would have to prove that I own those pictures, which no, we don't own them. Also, what it means for us on YouTube and the other platforms is that, how can I say it? We will get more copyright strikes. Or if we don't get copyright strikes, we will have more content ID matches because of this Article 13. Now, right now, we are in the early stages of it. So Article 13 has not fully been implemented yet. It will be implemented within the next 2 or 3 years. However, we need to start getting prepared now. And the reason I'm making this video is because I'm making it really for myself, but I'm making it for other people who maybe you haven't heard of Article 13. So if you haven't, just do the Google search. You can do it, the search right here on YouTube, and there are a lot of articles talking about it. And if you don't think it's already affecting us, it really is. It really is. So we haven't stated that. We just have to start using more of our own content and less borrowed material. So I'm not exactly sure, like a lot of these a lot of the channels now, we have the blogging channels, these celebrity news channels, and of course you have to use borrowed content for that, because if they're celebrities, you really need to see who you're talking about. So I am interested in how YouTube will work around stuff like that. Now, like I said, Article 13 was passed in Europe. However, how that affects us is if you have a bunch of subscribers, all of your subscribers are not necessarily here in the United States. You may have subscribers that are overseas and over in Europe. So that means right now, a lot of your content creators, if they hinge their stuff on fair use like I do with some of my other channels, then it's a good chance that your channel and your videos will be blocked from being seen by people over in Europe. And that will affect everything. That will affect your analytics. That will affect your watch time, your view time, because a good portion of your audience or a percentage of your audience won't even have access to your content. So I don't want to go on and on about this. I am going to make another video for my other channels too. Let's Talk Classic Hip Hop and Classic Hip Hop Storage Box, because I'm one of the people that this Article 13 will really hit home for me. So anywho, if you haven't heard of Article 13, take time to kind of listen. You don't even have to read. It's enough content creators on YouTube that have already done videos on this. I just decided to do it here on this end of YouTube because so it can get down to here, what they call it, the Section 8 part of YouTube. I like Section 8. So we're important too. Section 8 matters too. So anyway, Article 13, check it out. Is it the end of freedom of speech online or on these social media platforms? Well, you decide. So this is SistahCrystal here with Other Side of 40. Like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, take care.